You suddenly find yourself on stage for your own TED Talk. With no prior planning, what's a topic you can discuss for 18 minutes? Say nothing the entire time and close with, most of life is just showing up. Open your mouth as if you're about to say something every now and then. That's actually so inspiring. This is what TED Talks are for. Things that people aren't routinely taught growing up that they will undoubtedly need as an adult. Like how there are dozens and dozens of templates and examples on how to start a relationship, but basically none on how to end it in a good way. The Horus Heresy. Edit, by the Emperor. This one blew up. I scrolled and scrolled, knowing purely through faith in the God Emperor of mankind that one would have come before me. Cheddar versus Monterey Jack. To all those who demand answers, I shall go up to the top of the mountain and ponder. When I return, your wait shall end. Go on, your username tells me you are well prepared for this one. I would discuss what it feels like to give a TED Talk with no prior planning. I gave that speech in my college public speaking course. They asked me to give a speech about myself the first week of the class, so I went above and beyond and watched The Lion King and then presented Simba's life as if it was mine. Alcoholism and its multi-generational impacts on a family. Yep, I talk about addiction basically all day. 18 minutes probably isn't enough time to cover a topic well enough, but that's a good start. Why professional wrestling is actually a form of performing arts. 8-year-old me, wrestling is so cool. Go John Cena. 12-old me, pro wrestling is stupid, it's all fake. 24-year-old me, pro wrestling is a very well choreographed act that involves incredible physical stunts and is much more complex than it appears. Oh, you poor, miserable bastards. Retired engineering professor here. I can go for hours, with equations, and most of you will be asleep within minutes. You don't scare me. I'm married to a physics teacher. The law of the cars universe. I have so many questions, theories that I've made an extensive list. Here's a select few. How do vehicles have consciousness? Do they need gasoline to live, like an equivalent to food? How are they born, and how do they age? When they die, are they buried or are the parts repurposed? Thank you, quarantine, for allowing me to dive so deep into this topic. How to generate great ideas by duping idiots on the internet to share theirs. Greek mythology, any of it. My 15-year-old self that just finished reading all the Percy Jackson books. I have prepared for this moment all my life. The tragedies of Australia's Great Emu War. I would watch the TED Talk. Sex, but then I would cry for the final 17 minutes. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk UWU. Magic the Gathering, probably. Been playing since '94, and I still suck. My favorite shows and movies, and why I like them so much. Actually, I could also rant about how awesome NCIS used to be and how absolutely horrible it is now for more than just 18 minutes. I would like to listen to that. I loved NCIS. One of two things: how Dan and Dave completely fucked up the last 3 seasons of Game of Thrones, starting with season 6 and ultimately ending at season 8, which is a crime against humanity. Or, I can talk about hospice and palliative care because of my job. Which may be less depressing than the GOT talk. But to begin, we have to ask ourselves, at what point did the show begin to suck? I would argue that there were warning signs as far back as season 1, but I'd like to direct your attention in particular to the title sequences of season 5, where the entire country of Dawn is denoted as a single city. From there, yeah, I could realistically improv that speech for 18 minutes. Why a ham sandwich is in fact a hot dog. If I were in the audience, I would get up and fight you. I would just give a TED Talk about you then.